Hi, I'm going to do a couple videos that deal with making some desaturated grays, all sorts of wonderful ways to do that. I'm going to play with this is M-gram dioxazine purple. I'm going to do a little double study here, and I'm going to mix it with both some phthalo green blue shade by Daniel Smith, as well as quinacridone burnt orange by Daniel Smith. So this is a pretty messy tube, but there's a lot of nice color here, so I think I'm just going to grab. I have my paintbrush with some water and gonna, instead of wasting all that color, just have it come over here with a little bit of water. There's your frugal tip for the day. So let's see. First, I'm just going to do no nonsense watery layer of the dioxazine purple. And these top rows, so that will look like this. Let's see, I am using it's a 140-pound Arches cold press, which I typically use 300-pound Arches cold press, actually, bright white, for big main projects. If you're going to use 140, I do like the Arches overall more than a lot of other papers, like a lot of watercolor artists do. And if you are going to use 140-pound, you do definitely, well, you don't have to, but if you don't stretch it, you're going to get quite a bit of buckling. So I do have both of these stretched in a fairly significant way onto gator board. So I soaked each piece of paper, and then both stapled around the sides and gently pulled it taut while I was doing that. And so I stapled it in the expanded stage, and as it dries, that it gets nice and tight. So, but I may start doing this more. The stretching of paper introduces a whole nother layer of stuff to worry about. But especially if you're beginning. But I am just sort of, always trying to find the perfect solution. Let's see, I'm going to do, over here, I'm going to do the phthalo green blue shade. So this brush is not as pointy as the ones I often have folks use in class. Which sometimes is nice to have a nice point, but this is more of a rounded, moppy kind of brush, and I like it for several different reasons, but I'm not going to blab about that too much right now. So those, I'll start off with those. I'm going to continue on with the green and violet mix. Man, I do like that. So right now I'm trying to just kind of mix both of these colors in a way that seems like, no, that's not green, and no, that's not purple. And can I sort of, does it seem like I can get to a gray color that is really sort of not leaning towards either one? It's a little tricky, which is why I'm starting watery. I just realized, I don't think you could see all that mixing going on, but it was very exciting. And then I'm going to paint that into my middle row here. Kind of a blue-gray. I think it's sort of bringing out the blue in the violet and the blue in the green, and then combining those with a couple other things to make it grayed out. But I'm trying to make sure that, yeah, I think I can eyeball something in between there. Maybe it needs to be a little bit more violet. That's definitely more violet. I was thinking about how I would split that color and split the two colors, and it seemed like it was still a lot closer to the green than it did seem like it was to the purple. Yeah, I think I like that better. The whole point of this is to have an excuse for painting watercolor and just learning about all these different combinations. Let's see. I'll do the fourth row down with a little bit of definitely a little more phthalo green. I'm trying to mix until I feel like it's not green and it's not that gray, but it's sort of a gray-green. I'm going to go with that. Okay, now let's see. I wonder how this mix by itself is doing. It's still pretty blue. I think I can try to go a little bit more towards violet. I keep there's a decent amount of paint in there. Let's see. Oh yeah, that seems like a grayed out purple. Sometimes I just get rid of excess paint on my towel. But I feel like I'm going to be using all these colors quite a bit. So I'm just trying to save a little bit. When there's extra, I can save just over here in the palette. I don't know, that might still need to be more, it might be more green. We'll see. Part of this is fun because it's hard to know. It kind of depends on how it dries. And different things dry really differently. Different pigments. Let's see. So I'm going to rinse that off. And then I'm going to introduce my second mix with... I was just saving all that paint. Now I'm getting rid of it. Let's see. I'm going to switch waters because I'm trying to be... I have another clean water over here that I'll be using for trying to keep the waters separate, so it's as true as possible to what the pure colors would be. And there's nothing sneaking in. That is some pretty fresh quin burnt orange. So it's pretty globby there at first. So make sure to mix it up good. Let's see here, everybody's on the board. Okay, I'm gonna just paint the straight quin burnt orange over down here. Now what, Farron? I'm gonna this purple here is already sort of mixed with a little bit of green, so I don't want it. That's not the color really that I want to mix in. But let's see if I can pull this off. I'm gonna just try to grab a tiny bit of purple from my well here and mix that in with this quin burnt orange to find a gray. It's going to definitely be a warm gray. Oh well, so much for saving that paint, huh? It was a good idea. But let's see, I am looking at that again and thinking, does that seem like it's splitting? Splitting the difference here between purple and quin burnt orange. Once again, maybe one more touch of the purple. I think I'll give this a try. Let me see. Oh, it is pretty brown. So painting with watercolor can be tricky, just like painting with anything or mixing any kind of colors, of how to get the colors to still be sort of pure and vibrant. And it's easy to combine colors that for various reasons will dull each other out, gray each other out, neutralize each other. And that can be a bummer if you if it's happening where you don't want it to happen. But one of the points of this exercise is to check out these colors that will make these grays and to know when to use them, how to get to them, and when to use them. Let's see, I'm going to do a little bit more purple. That's pretty, but it's a little dark. Too concentrated, so I just grab some water. Dip my brush in the water and pulled a little bit of water over. And now I have probably too much color. Let me see if I can do some yeah, I'm going to stop sort of worrying about trying to save all the color. So, that's that one. Whoa! That was a lot of fresh, wet paint that globbed onto there, which was kind of fun, but got to make sure I mix it up. So let's see, I'm trying to eyeball what would be in the middle here. I'm going to do a little more water and a little bit more quin burnt orange. There's a little streak there. I didn't mix it up quite as much as I tell my students they should do. Yeah, there's a little bit too close to the middle color. Okay, I am going to let those dry. And I will do that after I just mark the colors I'm using here. M-gram dioxazine purple, Daniel Smith quin burnt orange. And over here I have the Daniel Smith pthalo phthalo green blue shade, and this is the same M-gram dioxazine purple. Yeah, so this can make some nice mixes. Oh, I'm okay, having fun. Okay, more in a bit.